Um, well, welcome you, Christmas Eve troopers, because it's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for coming. So let's just settle into our meditation posture and get yourselves nice and comfortable and cozy and warm. And I guess if you're in Australia, cool. So if you're sitting on a chair, feet in the parallel position, not flat on the floor, on a cushion, just to raise your knees up a little. And then if you're sitting in a cross-legged position, just make sure your knees aren't strained in any way. You can put cushions underneath each knee, something underneath your coccyx just to raise it a little bit, your sit bones, and make sure there's a kind of a firm surface underneath you so you're not sinking down into a couch. The shoulders are over the hips and the ears over the shoulders. Welcome Coral and welcome Barbara. Hands are in the meditation mudra. Imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light, stretching from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head and out. Somebody's maybe up there behind you, very gently lengthening your spine. And even just thinking of lengthening your spine somehow manages to, it automatically starts to lengthen. Head is slightly tipped forward. The eyes are down, looking along the length of the nose, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and just relax the jaw. So relax the scalp, the forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the jaw, and the scalp, the back of the head. Good evening, Maudit. Relax the ears and the inner ear and the jaw again, the back of the neck and the shoulders, that area in between the shoulders, the thoracic, upper thoracic. And if you are sitting on a couch, a chair, up against a wall, try not to lean into, welcome Victor, try not to lean into that surface. Relax the throat, the chest, the belly, the arms, hands, fingers, the legs, and the feet and the toes. So just now, let's just bring your mind to the breath. Notice the sensation of the cool air as you're breathing in, slightly warmer air as you're breathing out. If there's sounds in your environment, just allow those sounds to be there. And maybe you have a busy day coming up. Maybe you've had many things going on today. It's possible that you're with family. You might be sleeping in a strange bed, in a different environment. Maybe you have relatives coming to stay with you. Or maybe you're just on your own. Just try and allow your mind to settle. Maybe there's excitement. You're happy to be with people. Just try and bring the mind just very gently back to the breath for this next half hour while we do this practice. And try not to engage with your thoughts. So just bring to mind all the people of our life, our family, our loved ones, our friends, our very dear friends, the people that we don't like so much, the ones that irritate us or we irritate them, and the strangers. And think that they all are equal. They're all the same in their wish to be happy and their wish not to suffer. Constantly not really ever finding what they want and often running into problems. And they're all equal, same as us, in having this unbelievable capacity for perfection, for enlightenment. So I think tonight I'm going to do this purification practice for the sake of all these beings in my life, and by extension all other living beings, and for myself. So let's start with regret. And regret, just to remind us, is not guilt. Regret is about taking responsibility, acknowledging what we've done, and regret from the depths of your heart anything you may have done to harm another living being. Perhaps something has happened over the last week, maybe even something happened today that you feel uncomfortable about, that you might want to regret. And given that everything that happens to us in our life is based on our past karma, our past actions, good and bad, so having harmed others, we will necessarily experience suffering in the future, given that we understand what suffering is all about. Most of us here have experienced some form or other of suffering. So we don't really want to complicate our lives with any more. So logically we would want to pull these karmic seeds out before they ripen as future suffering for us. And think, I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. And now let's just regret our delusions, the anger and the attachment and the rest, to the cause of which are the cause of why we harm others. And just think, I'm sick of this suffering. So what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. Reliance has these two little subsections, refuge and compassion. So first of this is refuge. So we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, the doctor, who has the methods that we can purify. And this, in this case, is Vajrasattva. And so we're not asking Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're not looking for forgiveness. We purify ourselves by relying upon his methods. So visualize Guru Vajrasattva above the crown of your head, and imagine he's your Lama, your teacher, your trusted mentor, manifesting in this aspect for your benefit. And he's made of radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. He has this beautiful radiant face, and his lotus-like eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for us. Has this non-judgmental aspect towards us, completely accepts you for who you are, meets you where you're at. He has this sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom. The right is holding a vajra, which represents indestructibility of compassion, and their being crossed represents the union of these two, which symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. And also remember, Vajrasattva is wearing this 5-pointed crown encrusted with jewels, and he has got these beautiful flowing silks that he's wearing in the Royal Indian style, and he's wearing jewelry around his neck, pendants around his neck, precious jewels around his waist, his arms, his ankles, and his wrists. This is just a very active, colourful, vibrant image, a holy, compassionate being above the crown of our head. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I am enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So this little section on compassion. In order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings. So the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So perhaps bring to mind an example of someone you've harmed, and just try and develop a sense of compassion. Compassion is, may you not suffer. I wish for people to not experience suffering. And then the people who have harmed you, you will develop compassion for them because they are going to necessarily experience suffering in the future because of the harm that they've caused you. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these sentient beings, thinking I must purify for their sake. So next we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the actual medicine. This is the practice of healing ourselves, purifying ourselves. So Guru Vajrasattva very compassionately sends a powerful white nectar, like coming from a hose, from a shower, if you have a nice full strong shower, Niagara Falls or your favorite waterfall, just pouring quite forcefully from Guru Vajrasattva's heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you and forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you have ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out and disappears into space, not one atom left, as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebawa Sutokaya Mebawa Supokaya Mebawa Anarakta Mebawa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawa Kama Sutame Siddham Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva Aham Pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. So the next is the purification of the speech. And Guru Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar again from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown, filling your entire body. Except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech. And this negativities of speech, it overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the idle gossip, useless speech, lying, talking badly about others behind their back, and getting other people to agree with you is completely purified by this nectar filling you, pouring out of the top part of your body. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpe Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel so delighted that your speech is now completely purified. And imagine that it's not possible that you could do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. So the next is the purification of the mind, and Guru Vajrasattva now very compassionately sends powerful beams of laser light from his heart chakra, and it sort of arcs around, sort of bends around, and enters your crown chakra and fills your entire being. And it's the same as when you walk into a room and you switch on a light, and that light instantly dispels the darkness. So just when that light from Guru Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind is instantly dispelled by this light. So all the attachment, anxiety, and the neediness, and anger and depression, and wishing to harm others, and grudges and bitterness and jealousy, all these kind of like sticky, heavy emotions, all completely purified by this light as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Mebalwa Sutokaya Mebalwa Supokaya Mebalwa Anarakta Mebalwa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tatagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sutam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So be really delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are totally purified, gone. And think now there is no space in your heart for anything other than love and wisdom and kindness and compassion and bliss. So the next is a purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech and mind. And next, imagine that Guru Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, or you can imagine the previous 3 visualizations of the body, speech and mind. But anyway, this light pours into you, filling you completely from Guru Vajrasattva's heart. So imagine as it fills you, it eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind. So really, really rejoice as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sutokaya Meboa Supokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guruhum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabawa Maha Samaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So feel now that you are completely purified. Not one atom of negativity is left in your mind stream, and even the subtlest obscurations to omniscience have been removed. So here we come to the power of resolve, and this is a really crucial step in the purification process. This is this wish to not want to harm, this wish, this aspiration to rid ourselves of all these kind of negative habits that we have that harm others. So maybe, given that it's Christmas tomorrow, perhaps some of you are meeting up with family or friends, and maybe make a determination in your mind. If you have a habit to poke Aunt Mary or something like that, perhaps maybe refrain from some of these actions that might push other people's buttons. Or if you have a habit for negative self-talk, and maybe these kinds of emotions can come up quite strongly around these big events like Christmas. So maybe it's a time to sort of talk yourself down from this, to sort of say, not to, if you catch yourself with some negative self-talk, maybe you can argue with yourself a little bit. Try and give yourself a little bit of logic as to why your own negative self-talk might be illogical. And think, I'll refrain from this action or whatever it is you want to work on for 30 seconds or 5 minutes or overnight while I'm sleeping. So this determination to not harm, it's just like we make a decision. It gives us strength and courage to try and want to change. And you may have noticed that your certain things that you may have done in the past are starting to get a little bit less. They're not such a habit for you. So if you do happen to notice that, really rejoice. It means this work that we've been doing over this almost a whole year now is really starting to benefit. You've really worked really, really hard, and you're seeing the ripening of the fruits of your efforts. So really rejoice. It's really, really amazing. Give yourselves a big pat on the back. Fantastic. So Guru Vajrasattva is delighted with us, and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my Guru's body, speech and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech and mind, and my own body, speech and mind are the same thing. And Lama Yeshe used to call this union oneness. So next, Lama Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness with 3 circles. In emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, just place your mind there for a little moment. So thinking in this way, all phenomena may be empty. They do not exist from their own side. And try maybe and see things from a different perspective. So maybe think to yourself, perhaps things don't exist the way they appear to me. So dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created this evening by doing this purification to all living beings, thinking, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. And for the long life prayer of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And for Lama Zopa Rinpoche, you uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers, honouring the 3 jewels, savour of myself and others, your disciples. Please, please live long. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far-distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please, please live long. And for Geshe Cherub, beloved teacher leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequaled guide. Please live a long and stable life. Well, we did it. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. So lovely to see you all. And thank you for making the effort on this Christmas evening, for those of you who are participating in Christmas. And lots of love to everybody. Have a wonderful day tomorrow, and have a really, really wonderful holiday over the weekend. And I look forward to seeing you on, I guess it's Monday night, right? Is it? Well, enjoy, stay safe, lots of love, and thank you, East Coast people.